Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California. Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1766. I've come here this many days in a row because I want to bring you morsels of a thought of the right thing to do. Because knowing the right thing to do is called wisdom. And then actually doing the right thing is called virtue. So we are here to create more virtue with morsels of a thought of wisdom from other people because I'm not that wise, but other people will give you a synopsis of their life stories that tell you the right things to do and 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 then we have the idea that we can create more virtue. Now this one is called Lunar Legacy by Greg S. Reid and Ben Haldeman. DNA of Success. Lunar Legacy, DNA of Success. Greg S. Reid, Ben Haldeman. All right, so we're reading from page 88. Oh, I forgot to put that in there. Okay, well, anyway, we're reading from page 88. There was a letter from Dad to his daughter Luna, and he really, really wants her to understand how he has given her as much as he possibly can as a parent, as a father should. Yesterday we read something about fatherhood. Anyway, today we're reading chapter 17 of Lunar Legacy DNA Success by Greg S. Reid and Ben Haldeman. Ben had gotten in the habit of sharing his messages with Destiny, asking her to read them and offer her insights. One afternoon, Ben was tidying up the house and picked up a stack of papers he'd left on the kitchen counter. Returning them to the office where he'd later filed them, he saw Destiny sitting at his laptop, tears rolling down her cheeks. What happened? Ben felt a wave of concern rush through him. Destiny was usually optimistic and upbeat, so he was afraid something terrible had happened. She tried to regulate her breathing through her tears. This 13-year-old girl tried to commit suicide. Her sobs started again. When I read it, I thought of Luna. What if that was her one day? What if she was feeling so alone that she thought of doing that too? Now I can't stop crying. Destiny grabbed a tissue and tried to compose herself. Who is this girl? Ben questioned. Kohila Sivas. She sent a message to your website. I was reading stories for inspiration, and then I read this. Now, do you recall we read Kohila Sivas's book? She attempted suicide when she was only 13 and now considers life as her second chance. It was during this dark period that she discovered the incredible power of the mind and the conversations individuals have with themselves. I want to pause for a second to say something. I read a quote that said, a conversation with a wise person is better than 10 years of learning. A single conversation with a wise person is worth 10 years of learning. Get it? Okay, now back to the book. This experience became the cornerstone of her coaching methodology, the meta learning de-stress method. She channeled her energy into studying mathematics inspired by the belief that she didn't need to be exceptionally smart. She simply needed to commit to finding solutions. With mind work, capital M, capital W in one word, and determination, she excelled in math, using it as both a passion and therapy, Destiny explained. Then she goes on to say that it was through this pursuit that she found purpose and direction in her life, which led her to becoming a teacher, allowing her to share her passion for math with other students. However, the traditional education system's limitations frustrated her. She yearned to make a more profound impact on her students' lives, prompting her to explore creating her own coaching environment. This led her to develop her coaching methodology, drawing on her mathematical expertise and personal challenges. Over time, it evolved into something truly unique and effective. Today, Kohila trains and certifies teachers in her methodology as holistic neurogrowth learning success coaches. Capital W, capital N, capital G, neurogrowth, one word. Learning is a capital L, success is a capital S, C is a capital C, coaches. Holistic neurogrowth learning success coaches, sharing her expertise and sharing her experience and expertise with those who aim to transform students' lives. Through this work, she has touched countless lives, helping individuals find their purpose and direction. It was like that. I did fine in school, but I had stomach aches every day and would never raise my hand, even if I knew the answer, because I was so nervous. I didn't know I had anxiety back then. My stomach was in knots, but it was normal to me because it happened every single day, Destiny explained. She was finally able to control her tears and breathing by using yoga breathing exercises. Deep inhales for 4 counts, followed by slow, long exhales for 4 counts. She repeated these steps until she was fully composed. So, she learned from her own life experiences and applied this knowledge to help others, Ben explained. It's so cool and inspiring. She was able to turn her life around, become a teacher, and then 11 years ago, she left that position to focus on creating the right environment for her students to get exceptional results holistically. Kohila found a natural, holistic way to help the kids understand how to master their mind to achieve anything they want in their life. Destiny continued. Ben and Destiny continued reading Kohila's story together. We are reading Lunar Legacy, DNA of Success, my autographed copy, and we are here to hope to get wisdom, morsels of a thought of other people's wisdom, because knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and doing it is actually virtue. So, back to the book. They're talking about Kohila's story, Kohila Sivas. She created a learning methodology to help kids learn how to learn, to help kids learn how to learn and how to master their minds. She focused on connection before content that enabled a strong, trusting relationship between the student and a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach. In the model of learning Kohila created, all kids are treated and respected for their uniqueness. All children have individualized and customized coaching that caters to their mind print. No child is ever left behind or affected by learning when they have a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach by their side. Holistic neurogrowth learning success coaches empower each student by understanding the way they think and giving them the tools to succeed on their own. Kohila is on a mission to help 1.5 million children by the year 2035. The message she wanted to share with Lunar Legacy is, I never keep anything I was gifted on my deathbed to myself. I always share with others what I've learned and what has shaped who I am. I cracked the code on learning math first, and then working with my students and my life experience, I realized the power of mind work. It's not the mindset that matters, it's the mind stories that we need to shift in order to succeed. It's not hard work that allows one to achieve anything in life, it's the mind work and mind mastery that deliver results. Kohila explained that cracking the codes in math gave her confidence and provided a place where she could escape into the world of math and solve problems. It gave her the ability to become a critical thinker and a believer that everything is solvable. She's now certifying teachers and educators under her methodology so that passionate teachers can continuously serve their students in an environment that supports both the students and themselves, teachers. She hoped to be part of the change in the broken education system. Too many teachers become burned out over the years, and that number has considerably increased since the pandemic. Kohila's goal Kohila's goal is to inspire passionate teachers to continue their impact in an environment where they are able to personalize the learning to fit the uniqueness of each student. Destiny and Ben devoured every word that Kohila wrote. Her resilience from childhood was a spectacular story on its own. The fact that she had succeeded in helping others overcome similar struggles warmed their hearts and fed their ambitions. All these inspirational stories fueled their fires, and they cheered for the underdog every time. Kohila was the prime example of someone who came back from the depths of despair to lead by example and inspire others. Over the years, Destiny had always turned to yoga and meditation to heal her anxiety. She had even used breathing exercises to calm her social anxiety and present herself in a more confident manner. These tools allowed Destiny to solve her problems so she could relate to Kohila's strategy of using math to show kids that all problems could be solved. Maybe there was more to learn or new steps to follow, but anything is possible if you master your mind. Every problem has a solution. Everything is solvable. Share what you learn. Ben rotated those thoughts in his head. He felt reassured that he was already applying those to his life. He was sharing information about space travel on his website and solving problems by creating new goals and reaching out to other people for help when he needed it. Knowing that, he felt pretty proud of himself. Destiny, on the other hand, wanted to do more in that area. She was teaching yoga and actively using it to stay supple and limber. As she mulled over problems and solutions in her head, she grabbed her favorite pink pen and a piece of paper and began brainstorming. It didn't take long for the page to be filled with lists of new ventures, additional services for her studio, like massages and nutritional education, and teacher training for new yoga instructors. Destiny went through the ideas one by one. There were too many to focus on, so she began editing and narrowing down the list. It was a little overwhelming, so she would doodle every few minutes. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Destiny was excuse me. Uh, Destiny went through the ideas one by one. There were too many to focus on. So she began editing and narrowing down the list. It was a little overwhelming, so she would doodle every few minutes to help her concentrate. When she finally finished her list, Destiny reviewed it, imagining her new life and how much time it would take for her to share her passions and teach others what she knows. She circled one idea in particular that put a smile on her face, and she announced to Ben that she would start yoga teacher training to certify others to become yoga teachers. She would teach them everything she knew and build up their hours by providing them access to her private clients. She decided that when her studio opened, she would focus more time teaching Ayurvedic methods to help people regain their health. For now, she would get the ball rolling by starting an online form. Destiny created flyers for teacher training featuring all the courses she would teach to prospective instructors for her studio. This would allow her more time to complete work on the administrative side of the company. She would always continue teaching, which was her favorite thing to do, in order to stay connected to her yoga family. Through yoga, she'd spent years helping others stretch out their hips, burned out workers find their inner peace, and everyday people deepen their understanding of life. She loved seeing the change she helped create in others. That night, she began looking for studio space to get her plan into action. She texted a realtor to friend to start looking at properties the following week. Destiny wanted to create a space for girls and women to find peace and inner strength, a place that would encourage them to find uniqueness. Like Kohila, she would help girls grow and be part of the equation for positive change. Now, we are reading from Greg S. Reid and Ben Haldeman's book, Lunar Legacy DNA of Success. And I hope that we get a lot more wisdom from this with Morsels of a Thought, number 1766. Chapter 18. As she made great strides toward opening the studio, Destiny listened to podcasts and audiobooks about positivity and growth. That's when she discovered Anna Melikian and her podcast, Mindset Zone. She learned that people don't always know where these projects are going to lead them, like putting a message in the bottle and throwing it into the ocean. People tend to offer hope during times of struggle when they don't know what's going to happen next. Another discovery Destiny made was that despite the amazing advancements in the fields of technology and artificial intelligence, humanity often forgets to explore within. Anna shared that she believes in inward exploration of the self. Anna's, posca- Anna's podcast shared, it's like a dance of who we are in the universe. It's important to self reflect. There are so many people on this planet trying to make a positive impact. And even if we don't know exactly how can we keep helping people create a better world without burning ourselves down to the ground by tapping into our human potential? We can make a bigger, more positive impact without sacrificing our well being. We can make a difference without burnout, she says. Okay. Destiny played that section for Ben so they could talk about the message. We need to change the culture we're in. Even in schools, kids are burning out faster than before. They enter the workforce already in a burnout mode, so they question what their purpose is. We need to revisit why we're doing the work we're doing and the work we want to do. Apply to this journey the need to savor life and spend quality time together. We're creating core stability in mental health culture in our communities. That is my passion. If you ask someone if they're busy, they say yes. If you tell them to do a breathing exercise, they don't have time. Think about that. They don't have time to breathe. People claim they don't have time to sleep, eat healthily, exercise, and keep up with their basic needs, so of course they burn out, she says. Ben reflected his thoughts on the podcasts with Destiny. Let's gain some perspective, he says. When we go to outer space, we have the miracle of this planet, but what are we doing with this miracle? This is a chance that will never repeat itself again. We have the potential, we have the ability to make this world a better world, yet we are destroying the air we breathe, the houses, the communities. We can do so much better. What is this rat race all about? Excuse me. He says, traditional jobs are burning people out. People want to make a difference, but they are not given the chance to change a broken system. Educators leave their positions, healthcare workers change industries, and we are not solving the problems that are causing good workers to leave. We have been able to follow our passions. Let's continue that path for others so they also have the chance to do what makes them happy. Destiny, he continued, we have had the blessing of enjoying what we do. From what I've seen, it's not the work that people get tired of. They don't like the excuse me, they don't like the policies that are holding them back from doing their best. Management focuses on money and not their employees, which is detrimental to their success. Happy employees create happy customers, students, or patients, Destiny shared. But happy people will do their best and live the mission of the company they align with. What about outside of work? What else creates this type of burnout? Ben pondered. I haven't had that type of overwhelming feeling since college finals or my first job. I felt rushed, like I was drowning in piles of things I needed to do with no time left to finish. I've been thinking about ways to help people establish a positive mindset, she says. So even hard times feel manageable and people realize they can get through them. They need to know they can change their situations, leave a bad job, end toxic relationships, or set boundaries with people so they're not hitting that wall. It could be connected to yoga, so we can help people find their mantra of positivity. Like Jonathan's message, we didn't come this far to only get this far. Exactly. If people keep hearing that they should respect themselves enough to make their lives better, it will make sense for them to implement positive changes. Positive changes will expand their positive mindset and reinforce why it's necessary. Maybe they need more of a boost to treat themselves better. Anne and Destiny wrote down all the mantras they knew, and Destiny saved them for her studio's future social media posts. The heart of her messages would be promoting new ways to implement self care and get back to a positive mindset. She thought about what a difference this could make for people looking to change their lives. For anyone trying to lose weight, start a family, take a risk that they could change everything, a positive mindset would guide them through the tough times. They could focus on what is good for them rather than spiral into despair over what could go wrong and quit. Motivation is not a stable constant, so something has to be implemented to keep them moving forward. Hey, Ben said, after what you just said, it occurs to me that this is all about relationships. Remember, that is the expertise of Ken Ashby and Maris Siegel. The R factor is all about some of the very things you've mentioned. Respect, for one. They need to have respect for themselves and each other. And the other things you said about ending toxic relationships, creating boundaries, and even changing jobs. Ken and Maris taught me that those are all about relationships, and we have the ability to change and improve every relationship in our lives. Perhaps we read The R Factor too by Ken Siegel. I mean Ken Ashby and Maris Siegel. It's pronounced Siegel like the bird. Siegel by Astor. Um, Perhaps you could connect with them and get their input about how you can integrate the R factor in your mission to show people how those relationships impact them, and more important, what they can do to find the right rhythm in their relationships moving forward. Oh my gosh, I would love that. The rhythm part ties in with everything I want to do, creating a balance and flow in our lives, minds, and bodies. It's the missing piece that'll tie it all together. And I can't wait to get started. That's what she says. Interesting. So we are reading Lunar Legacy. Can, he talks about other people. Let's see. So we've got Ken Ashby's signature here, Maris Siegel here, and we've got uh, Annette Cruz Padilla, chapter 17. You know something? I think she was in chapter 14, not 17. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Because I read her sooner than I expected. Yeah, I think she was in chapter 13 and 14. 13 and 14. So that's why I expected to get her later than I did. Anyway, we are going to close out for the day. It's 23 minutes and 29 seconds. And I want you to buy this book because it gives you pieces of wisdom that are so good for your lives. I want to inspire you to have a great day. Okay? Oh, Kinderhut.